Have you ever checked your brokerage account and noticed a subtle shift where your total balance jumped by an amount that had very little to do with your paychecks? Most investors spend years believing financial independence requires reaching an astronomical net worth, like $2 or $5 million. But the most significant turning point in your journey happens much earlier, and almost nobody talks about it. Financial planners call it the crossover point. It is the exact moment when the annual growth generated by your portfolio overtakes the amount of fresh capital you contribute each year out of your own pocket. Early on, your own effort does almost all the heavy lifting. If you put $12,000 into your account every year, your monthly discipline is 90% of the engine, while compound growth barely moves the needle. But compounding is sneaky. For a long time, it feels like nothing is happening, and then suddenly, everything happens at once. Once your total portfolio reaches a solid threshold, the underlying math flips entirely. If you have built up a balance around $300,000, a modest 7% average annual return generates $21,000 in pure market growth. Without working a single extra hour or getting a massive raise, your existing capital now produces more new wealth in 12 months than your entire annual savings contribution combined. Your paycheck goes from being the sole driver of your growth to acting as secondary fuel on a fire that is already roaring. What makes this milestone so unusual is that there's no notification or celebration when you cross it. It happens quietly in the background during a year when you might be focusing on everyday life, groceries, or household repairs. Yet crossing this threshold permanently changes your relationship with money. Before the crossover point, market pullbacks feel like personal setbacks because you're losing money you painstakingly sacrificed from hard-earned wages. After the crossover point, market drops feel far less intimidating because you've witnessed the engine working over full market cycles. You begin viewing market downturns as temporary discount periods rather than structural threats to your financial stability. You realize that temporary fluctuations do not destroy the massive compounding base you've established. Reaching this turning point faster comes down to a few simple levers within your control. The most critical lever early on is your savings rate. Saving a higher percentage of your income accelerates your base building while simultaneously lowering the hurdle your market returns need to clear. Keeping your investment strategy simple and low cost is equally vital, as excessive management fees silently drain thousands of dollars from your growth before it has a chance to compound. Giving your money enough time in the market without constantly making emotional changes ensures that momentum stays on your side. Calculating your personal crossover point is straightforward. Multiply your total portfolio balance by a conservative return rate of 6 or 7%, then compare that dollar figure to your annual contributions. If those numbers are close, your portfolio is already stepping up to share the workload. The ultimate goal of investing is not chasing an abstract fortune on a spreadsheet, but building a quiet financial partner that carries the heavy load alongside you. Once you cross that threshold, your money stops depending entirely on your labor and starts working tirelessly for your future.